What's going on, people? So, as I always do, I like to give this here YouTube thing a minute to make sure everything gets started like it's supposed to. And of course, looks like it's supposed to because, I've been pretty lucky with the last couple, but I learned my lesson on some live I tried to do a while ago. The cable, great. When I say cable, I mean like the cable company. Apparently, they were having some issues or whatever. But this looks like it's fine, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe. So I guess we can go ahead and get into this thing. Yeah, that's fine enough. So I got this box of shoes over here that came in today, right? So it's a bunch of asics things. So if you're into asics, you might be into this video. If you're not into asics, you should probably leave now because I don't think these will change your mind, to be completely honest, right? But I'm gonna get it open, and then we can figure it out all together how to feel about this, right? Because obviously I haven't seen them yet. They're in this box, right? That's kind of how that works. But let's get this whole thing all loosened up so we can see what's going on in here. And there's that side. So, hey, and then there's Chilltown. What's going on, man? How's everything treating you? It's been a long day over here, right? But hey, it happens. Parents are coming around soon, which is part of the reason this box is here. So got to get ready for that. Okay, so get these three. Luckily enough, like Asics is pretty good with like the way they package their stuff, so they put it in here all nice and neat. So that's cool. So three of these are the same model, right? So I'm just gonna get these boxes all out real quick, right? And then we'll do that one should be something else. All right, cool, fantastic. So all three of these say Nova Blast 3 on the side, right? So sometime a few months ago, the Nova Blast was kind of getting a lot of attention for whatever reason. People were saying they're all super comfortable and all that good stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm in for comfortable shoes, right? I like Asics. In my opinion, Asics is probably doing the best as far as like what I wear, like gym shoe type shoes or whatever, trainers, if you will, because their price point is like crazy low and their color selection is crazy high. It's like a really good combination, and the comfort is always like right there where you want it to be, right? Some are better than others, sure, of course. It's going to be like that with anything. But overall, if you're not an ASICS guy, I'm not going to say run out and be an ASICS guy, but consider it. Consider at least looking to see if they have anything you would visually be into. And more than likely, if you like the way it looks, you'll like the way it feels. So here's the thing, right? I got a couple reviews to do, and one of them happens to be an Asics Nova Blast 3 video, right? You may have seen the unboxing over on the Instagram a while ago. But I never actually got around to wearing those or anything yet because, I'm doing things in order and in the order in which I've received them. And those are not high on the list. I think there's some New Balances and some Grant Hill 2s and I think some Hirachis maybe even before that. So it's a lot of stuff before that, right? So I figured one of the things that might help me like to get an idea for how these feel, right, is since the parents are coming around this weekend, I thought like I'll get them some pairs and like they'll walk around in them through the weekend, and then I'll see what they think. So that way I have like a better idea of how other opinions are, right? Not just mine. So that way they can kind of help out with the review like indirectly. So that's the whole situation. So these are the three colors for these, right? You can kind of see those. Let's start with mom's over here. Forget what color they called this, but it's kind of like a. Hopefully, it's coming out decently or whatever. But you got kind of like a brownish tan sort of thing going on, right? So, no, again, these are more of like the running shoes and stuff like that, right? So they're super light. They come in around $140, right? Unless you happen to find a discount or something, which is definitely findable on the internet. So don't pay full price, people. It's just not necessary unless it's limited, but these aren't. But either way, so super light. They do have like a kind of a chunky look in the back, but from what I saw the last time I tried a pair of these on, it's actually pretty nice and it doesn't feel like it's kind of like the Ultra Boost 22 or anything like that. It looks like there's a lot going on, but when you wear it, they still feel super light and you don't feel like you're high off the ground. So I do like that about them. But overall, you got the whole mesh thing going on down in there, as you do with a lot of these, as is often the case. Got the Asics thing going on over there. But all in all, it's a pretty nice look. You got that thin tongue kind of, so It's kind of split down the middle, not down the middle like the Gel-Lyte 3s, but split down at the top or whatever. So to help it stop from slipping around and all that, which is a good thing. And you can't quite see it, so wait for like the actual review and stuff. But these do have a pretty thin upper going on here, right? You can kind of see there. The light shines through pretty easily, so I do like that, right? So that's always good. But either way, I think she'll like these. I saw another pair that she might have liked as well, but I'm pretty sure her Saucony trail shoes, which are over there, are very similar. So this pair, this one is Dad's pair, right? Yeah, because he spends a lot of time outside, right? So I figure I'll get him something that's kind of, if it gets dirty, you won't really notice it so much. And he does like the green, so it's got a nice green going on back there, right? Gets a little brighter in the camera here, but I don't know why that is, because it is brighter, yes, but in the camera it looks like super bright. Once you see better pictures, like a better camera, it won't be that quite that way, but it's close. It's very close, just not exact. Either way, it's going to be the same sort of thing that you saw on the last one and whatnot, right? Same type of outsole that you see on a lot of these types of shoes. But when the Nova Blast was coming around, I was talking to a friend of mine that he's an Ultra Boost guy for the most part, and he was talking these up, and I'm like, okay, well, I know how you feel about those Ultra Boosts, and I know how you are talking about these, so these must be pretty solid. So I'm looking forward to trying them out. And one thing around on the back side, it doesn't look like they have a whole lot going on the heel cup, but it's kind of more on the inside. You do have some actual structure going on there. Just the plastic piece looks like it's minimalistic, right? But this pair right here, this is the one I got for myself, right? And here's the thing, right? I thought that I had to buy a pair for me because I was pretty sure that the only pair of Nova Blast 3s I had was a trail shoe. No, that is not the case at all. I have the Light Show pair, which is black with some lime green sort of neon green sort of thing going on. Completely forgot that. So this pair, buying this pair was completely unnecessary. But the way it's going to play out is this is the review that I'm going to record first. It won't be the one you see first, but it's the one that will be recorded and all that stuff. So then I'll do all the walking and stuff this weekend with the parents doing all that. And so the review on the other color will be the one that's a little bit more informative, right? So it's kind of a backwards way to do it, but things work the way things work, right? So there's that. I'm very cool with these so far. So hopefully that works out for me and for the rest of the family, because, you know, otherwise it's a waste of a bunch of money, and that's not okay. So now also for Mom, right? So there's 3 shoes here, 4 pairs of shoes here, but only one is for me. The other 3 are for the parents. This is also for Mom because we have a little vacation that we're going on in July. So I always buy her and myself like a new pair of shoes to break in for that reason, right? Because, you know, you're going on vacation. Let's get something new, right? So we're going with the Kayano 29s this time around. And much like I just said about the Nova Blast 3, I'm going to get her a pair so that way she can wear hers. She can let me know how they worked out for her. I'll get my ideas of how I feel about them. So then when I get the Kayano 30, then I have something to talk about as far as what's different about it, right? So it's kind of one of those things. You spend some money to make some money or something, right? I don't know if that really applies, but it's a thing I say once in a while. So either way, gonna get the family involved to help me with getting some thoughts out on these things because they're active, you know, they like wearing these shoes that I buy them, so it works out. I don't know why I never played into that before, but it just came to me like last week. I'm like, wait a second, I don't have to do this all myself. So either way, this right here, Kayano 29, it's women's pair right now. Unlike some other models, and I'm not talking down on people because it's a widely spread thing. These, they actually do, kind of like the Ultra Boost 22, remodel the men's version and the women's version so that the women's version is built more for a women's foot, right? So normally I would say if you like the women's color, just do the math and get your size, right? But in this case, I would say you might want to just stick with the men's color. And I don't know what all they did, right, to change them, but I would just assume that it's probably something that makes sense. And I'm not sure what the size difference is on here because it doesn't really say. On like Nike shoes, it'll say, because Nike's, it's like a size and a half. But on but on Adidas, I believe it's just one whole size. So either way. So Kayano 29, it's one of their higher end, not higher end, but like one of their more premier level running shoes, I suppose you could say. They come in around 160 versus the 140 for these guys over here. And I do like the look of them more, but the 29 is on its way out because the 30 comes out on the 1st of July. But I do like the look of these more, and there's certain things about them that are nicer, right? But it's kind of a toss up and just like what you want. They also have the Ortholite, which gives them a nice feel as far as the insoles and all that stuff goes. But the look of it is kind of what does it for me. That's when you have two things that are very similar, you need some kind of deal breaker. And to me, it's the visual, right? Color selection is pretty solid on both of them, though. It's just, I think they're close enough, at least so far right now, not having worn them a whole lot, but I think they're close enough that just buy the one that you like the most visually. But either way, you got a lot of the mesh stuff going on up here. It does feel a little bit thicker than it did on the Nova Blast, right? These feel very thin, but that's just to the touch. When you're wearing them, they still feel pretty much like a thin sock, right? So it's not a big deal. It just has that sort of style to it. And then same thing, like you're not going to see as much light shining through. I don't know where I put that flashlight, but there it is. It's hidden exactly behind. See, like the last one, you can see all through this. This one you can't, right? It's hidden exactly behind this blue light or black light or whatever. You know, every so often have glow in the dark stuff. So I do like these though. Hopefully she likes them as well. I'm sure she will. She's kind of into this sort of color, so that should work out just fine. Love Kayanos for running. Yeah, right. Like so, the Kayano and the Nimbus, right? I did compare the Kayano and the Nimbus last year. It wasn't a full on review type video, so a lot of people probably missed it. But they're both up there, right? They're both equally priced, so it kind of comes down to like the Nimbus was a lot more squishy, right? So a lot more cushion and all that stuff, whereas the Kayano was a little more stable, right? Had a firmer foam to it. So depending on what you're into and how you run and a number of factors, personal preference, like then you kind of have to figure out like which one do you really like. But the problem to me is that, and it could just be where I am, but I don't see asics shoes around in a lot of stores. There is like a running specific store that I haven't been in lately or like at all around here. So they might have some, but really, and I think I may have seen some asics at Dick's Sporting Goods a while ago, but it kind of sucks that you don't see these in more places because I feel like if they were in more places, they do a little better. But there's always the outlets and stuff. Asics outlets seem to be common. So I would start there. That'd probably be the best bet. You'll probably also get some good deals on the Kayanos right now for the 29s anyways, because the 30 is on its way out next month. Also, one thing that I did hear, and I didn't experience this for myself, was that the Kayano 29 fit a little different than the 28 and the ones before that, right? Because I have a 27. And wearing them both at a 9.5, I felt fine, you know, normal true to size type things. So no complaints out of me. But, you know, it's the internet. When people have a problem, those are the people you hear the most, right? They're significantly louder than the people who don't have problems. Crazy how that works, right? And also, I got this right here. This is an Asics shirt. Let's go ahead and open this up, right? It's one of those running type shirts that I buy every so often because, you know, I like these shirts. They're pretty cool. So, like I was saying before, I think I just put up a video about these, right? No, I started editing the video. Got a lot of holes in the back, right? Because it is part of their Actabreeze line. So get this in here. So if that focuses, so this is one of the, I say Adidas, one of the Asics Actabreeze colors or Actabreeze t-shirts. So got that over there, right? So super thin, right? Very thin, very nice. You can actually almost see right through this thing, which is kind of crazy. But I do like these as far as working out and stuff because I do spend my share of time at the gym and stuff like this is super handy to have. But if you saw that price tag, you know that it's probably best to wait for a sale, which is not uncommon. So definitely do that because if you got $60 to go throwing around on shirts, cool, fantastic. Your life might be in a different place than mine, right? Me, on the other hand, I got to look for the deals because, you know, that's how that works. Then again, maybe if I didn't buy as many shirts, I wouldn't need to be as focused on like saving money. I don't know. Could be doing it to myself. But either way, so that's really it as far as what I had going on here. Wanted to just keep this short and sweet and to the point and whatever. So hold these things up real quick one more time, give you a quick overview, then I will be on my way. So over here, starting from the outside to the inside, this is all Nova Blast 3s. On the outside, you have mom's pair, inside dad's pair, outside my pair, right? So we're going to be breaking these things in over the weekend, and I'll report back eventually on how these feel, right? But early testing, just walking around in them, I do like them, right? Though not the best to go by. Right here, this is going to be the Kayano 29. It's a women's one, right? So that's why it might look a little smaller than you would normally see. So very nice. I do support a lot of the ASICS shoes, but I'm not going to say they're the best thing in the world because that's all subjective, right? But one thing I will certainly stand by is saying that they're worth checking out. So at least take that from this, if nothing at all. Go to the ASICS page, scroll on through, see what's going on, see if anything tickles your fancy or something. And if it does, put it in the cart and wait for a price to drop, right? I'm sure there's a holiday coming up, right? Yeah, 4th of July is coming up. I'm sure they'll have sales then. I don't know if there are any June holidays, right? I mean, Juneteenth is a holiday, but not in that way, I don't think, right? So either way, there should be sales coming around, or, you know, student discounts, things like that. You know, that's a thing as well. So now I believe we're good. I've covered everything I needed to cover. Rest in peace to the yeah, man. That's why I had to break out the chic shirt today. Sad times, sad times. I don't know if you happen to ever see his Twitter account, but it was something special, let me tell you. But all right, that's it for me. From me to you. Have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm going to finish watching this little wrestling show that's been playing in the background. Thank you to everybody that stopped in and whatnot. I saw the little thumbs ups and the number of people watching and whatnot. I get that there's people watching that don't interact a whole lot, and I'm cool with that. I'm often one of those people myself, so don't feel obligated to say anything. I like to treat these lives as I treat my videos and just sit down, keep the ball rolling. So that way for the people who watch after the fact, it's not like too weird. They can just kind of watch and hopefully stay interested to some extent. Either way, now I'm good. I'll be recording some stuff tomorrow and it'll start trickling out eventually. Don't wait for it anytime. Don't look for it anytime soon, to be completely honest, but just know that at some point I'll get back to putting out actual shoe content. Cool. Thanks again. Later, people. Let's go ahead and find this end button that always escapes me. There we go.